Welcome back to OT Sports. Derek Fisher was arrested on an alleged DUI charge and also flipped his car over the 101 freeway in Los Angeles.
Former Laker Derek Fisher survived a major crash on the 101 freeway today, but then he was arrested on suspicion of DUI.
We all thought the smoke had cleared, that Matt Barnes and Derek Fisher had buried the hatchet, at least enough for group photos and carefully worded PR statements. But just when we were ready to close the book on basketball's most jaw-dropping love triangle, chaos has crashed the party once again, and this time, the wreckage isn't just emotional. According to a veteran LA road manager with eyes everywhere, the tension that once made headlines has boiled over behind closed doors. Forget the Instagram posts and family-friendly sound bites. Tonight, the feud exploded in real life, with Derek Fisher ending up in handcuffs and Matt Barnes wheeled off to a hospital. The reason? We're told Fisher found his wife, Gloria Govan, not just with another man, but with the only man guaranteed to bring out his inner volcano, her ex-husband, Matt Barnes, in the same house. This isn't just awkward, it's headline-grade humiliation for everyone involved.
We're walking in there, and then the first people I see are Gloria and Derek. So I turn the corner, take off on him. Everybody starts screaming, and she had people over, a bunch of people over. So I hit him, he falls into the sliding glass door.
Okay, so you actually punch him in the face,
yeah,
and you connect.
Okay. And hit him and knock him into the sliding glass door. And then I'm jumped on by like 3 or 4 dudes. Everyone's screaming. All the girls are telling me to stop, Matt, stop, Matt.
What really happened behind those security gates? Sources close to the chaos insist that Derek Fisher came home to discover a scene straight from a daytime drama, only with a lot more bruising. There's talk that voices escalated, furniture might have been sacrificed, and what began as a confrontation turned physical, forcing someone, possibly a neighbor, possibly someone closer, to call the police. By the time LA's finest arrived, the adrenaline had already spilled into real consequences. Derek was led away, reportedly still furious, and Matt, battered and battered, needed medical help. We're told the police report is long and loaded, and someone from Fisher's own circle has admitted off the record that it was ugly. Nobody walked away a winner. To grasp just how high the stakes were, it's crucial to remember where these three have been. Not so long ago, Barnes and Fisher were LA Lakers teammates, practically family on the court. Fisher was even a guest in Barnes's home before any of this erupted, long before Mommy's friend Derek became a recurring nightmare in Matt's text messages. But then, lines were crossed, friendships blown apart, and Barnes himself described the moment he got that infamous call from his son, "Mommy's friend Derek is here." From there, what happened next was the kind of showdown you only see in playoff games. And, apparently, Redondo Beach backyards.
And I guess you actually started staying at your house with your sons in the house.
Yeah.
Then you found out one day, and you were roughly 95 miles away.
Yeah.
When you found out.
So this was where I was in Memphis. I left from Memphis a little bit early just to get acclimated to my new teammates.
But if we thought time and new marriages had softened the situation, think again. Tonight's drama uncovers old wounds and pours gasoline all over them. Gloria Govan, once the center of both men's worlds, is suddenly the architect of another plot twist. The whispers swirling around LA's gated communities are getting louder by the hour. Gloria is not only preparing to divorce Derek, she's reportedly hired an A-list legal team to go after every cent he has left. Remember, the couple just sold their luxury Chatsworth mansion for just under $3 million, a move that looked like a fresh start but now reads more like a financial chess move. The mansion, with its putting green, full basketball court, and what realtors call Four Seasons bathrooms, is suddenly a symbol of everything that's crumbling. And let's not forget, when Fisher splurged on that $1 million engagement ring for Gloria, friends wondered if he'd finally found peace after years of drama. Apparently not.
Right. So I'm just like, and then she cops like a little attitude where like, you can't tell me who I can be with, and hangs up on me. I'm like, okay. But so by this time, like both my cars are already out in Memphis, and this is pre-Uber for me. So like I have my homeboy stays with me.
And here's where the rumor mill really starts churning. One former NBA agent claims this reunion between Gloria and Matt was no accident. According to him, Gloria's been playing a long game, building a divorce case, moving assets, and quietly reconnecting with Matt, the only man who matches her for volatility. Others insist that Matt has been waiting in the wings all along, never fully out of Gloria's orbit, despite the fiery custody battles and court-mandated parenting monitors. Remember the saga at their twins' school when Gloria's 17-foot-long Escalade barreled through a parking lot, and Matt left the courthouse with a temporary restraining order and a pointed message. Today wasn't about Matt or Gloria, it was about the children and their safety. But was it ever really that simple? LA's family law circuit is buzzing that Gloria has been working angles, and with Derek's finances now up for grabs, insiders say she might walk away with more than the mansion.
I did hear there was like a drama with a girlfriend or something like that with, I can't remember who the other person was, but...
Matt Barnes.
Matt Barnes, right.
Yes.
None of this can be separated from the long shadow cast by Barnes and Fisher's last major altercation. That one ended with Barnes driving, depending on whose version you believe, anywhere from 15 minutes to 95 miles, arriving at Gloria's house and, by his own account, checking on my kids, but also handling business. The NBA fined him, suspended him, and Derek, who told everyone it wasn't a code violation because the code doesn't exist, tried to keep things dignified. But behind the scenes, no one forgot. He already caught these hands, you can be next, Barnes tweeted at one troll, making it clear the feud was only ever dormant, never over. For Fisher, the hits have kept coming. Not just literal blows from Barnes, but public embarrassments at every turn. He's been robbed of his 5 championship rings, an entire legacy, gone in a midday home invasion. He's flipped cars on the 101 freeway, ended up arrested for driving with more celebration in his system than caution, and even managed to wreck a vehicle registered to, you guessed it, Matt Barnes. If the universe is writing this script, it definitely has a dark sense of humor. Every time Fisher tries to put distance between himself and the mess, fate, or as some industry insiders believe, Gloria, drags him right back in.
I would just say overall it was tough, because although I was the one that left my ex and filed for divorce and was ready to move on, just the whole overwhelming fact that I don't have my family no more, and I don't have my little guys no more that I woke up with every day and took to school and played with and were my life. So splitting up with my ex, it was definitely the right thing to do, but just losing my boys in the process was tough.
So when news broke that Fisher was arrested tonight, it landed differently than the last time his name was in the police blotter. This wasn't about one bad decision or a night out gone wrong. This was about a man who'd built a second chance, expensive homes, a high-profile wife, the works, watching it unravel in a single brutal confrontation. For Barnes, ending up in the hospital, sources close to his circle say, was just another chapter in a rivalry that he's never really escaped. He's still being paid until November 2020, he once bragged. But the toll of this battle isn't just measured in direct deposits. The price of unfinished business, and maybe unfinished feelings, is now being paid in very public humiliation and tonight, in physical pain. Gloria, meanwhile, is in the driver's seat. Divorce filings loom. The $1 million ring that was supposed to cement her loyalty is just another shiny artifact for the next attorney to itemize. Several longtime friends from the Basketball Wives LA days insist that Gloria thrives in the eye of the storm. She's done playing the sidekick. She's back to being the main event, orchestrating moves behind the scenes, possibly setting up this so-called reunion with Matt weeks, if not months ago. 3 family insiders, all with ties to different sides of this triangle, say that Gloria's ultimate goal is full financial control, and maybe, just maybe, to bring the story back full circle, returning to Barnes not out of romance, but out of revenge or unfinished business.
Viewed it as Matt and I played together for 1 season. It was 5 years prior to when Gloria and I started having a conversation after we both had filed for divorce and going through the divorce process. I didn't view it as a code, unwritten code thing. I don't view life in that way.
And what about Fisher, left standing in the ruins, wondering if he was ever really in control of his own story? His desperation, say people who've watched him these past few weeks, is almost palpable. He's been spotted making phone calls outside high-end divorce attorneys' offices, rumored to be scrambling for financial advice. More than one former Lakers teammate has remarked, off the record, that Fisher seemed wound tight, like he knew something was coming but hoped it wouldn't. Was it Gloria's sudden legal moves? The unexpected listing and sale of their mansion? Or did he somehow sense, deep down, that the next act would be the most public humiliation of all, being arrested after catching his wife with the last man he'd ever want to see in his house? This latest eruption, of course, isn't just another celebrity spat gone viral. It's the ultimate betrayal, one that's been brewing for almost a decade inside the tight, code-heavy fraternity of the NBA. Barnes and Fisher weren't just teammates on those star-studded Lakers rosters. They were supposed to be brothers in arms, bonded by battles on the hardwood, by the unspoken rules that keep locker rooms from devolving into daytime drama. When Fisher crossed the line and started seeing Barnes' ex-wife, it wasn't just Barnes he burned. It was the whole unwritten code of NBA brotherhood. How many players are side-eyeing Fisher now, remembering that it could have been them? How many friendships were shattered? How many whispers filled training rooms and team planes after that first headline hit? We've heard from more than one former player turned podcaster that Fisher's invites to team reunions suddenly dried up, that he became a ghost in his own old stomping grounds. There are those in the league who still claim, quietly, that this kind of backdoor romance is the one sin that never really gets forgiven.
Not realizing that her Bluetooth comes on in the car. It's just like a movie. So her Bluetooth, so her whole conversation stops the boys' movie. They don't really pick up on it, but I'm just like, yo, I know this voice, and I hear, baby, I miss you, and I can't wait to see you again, and we had so much fun in New York. I'm like, what the that's Derek's voice. So that's the first time I'm like, what the is going on?
We can only imagine how much Barnes still carries the weight of that betrayal. It's not just about exes and old wounds, it's about respect, about a life in the public eye and the sting of being turned into a punchline on talk radio. When Barnes tweeted, he already caught these hands, you can be next, it wasn't just internet bravado, it was a signal to the entire NBA community that he wasn't letting this go, that Fisher's so-called apology tour never really landed. If the league's unwritten code is sacred, then what happened between Barnes and Fisher was blasphemy, the kind that leaves scars and simmering grudges years after the fact. Is it any wonder the latest confrontation boiled over so spectacularly? For Barnes, every fresh headline about Fisher and Gloria was another layer of public humiliation. A man's private heartbreak dragged across the sports pages, then rehashed on social media for good measure. But the betrayal didn't just live in the past. For Fisher, every new start with Gloria came with the ghost of Matt Barnes lurking around every corner. Or more literally, every group event, family gathering, and even the kids' school drop-off. There was never a true, fresh slate. The league watched, the fans watched, and even the estranged couple's own children, caught between worlds, became unwitting messengers of bad news. When Barnes said he only drove over to check on his twins, that wasn't just parental concern, it was a man fighting for a shred of control over a narrative that was slipping through his fingers.
There was the Matt Barnes incidents where Matt Barnes allegedly showed up into his backyard, or Derek Fisher allegedly showed up in Matt Barnes' backyard because their exes are together in some way or another. He has gone on record complaining about Matt Barnes, or at least making the note that it's a thing with
The saga was never just about infidelity or bruised egos. It's the cautionary tale every pro athlete whispers about after hours, over drinks or in team buses, about what happens when the sacred trust inside the locker room collapses. This wasn't just another reality show plotline. It was the kind of story that made even the hardest veterans shake their heads and wonder how far anyone could actually fall. For Fisher, the cost went way beyond fines and suspension. It was about being iced out, about watching an entire brotherhood turn cold. For Barnes, the headlines may have made him infamous, but at least he owned the narrative, telling the world, violence is never the answer, but sometimes it is. It's a line that has haunted both men ever since. If the locker room was the battlefield for this drama, then the Escalade has been its four-wheeled chariot of doom. An accidental symbol maybe, but a potent one. Again and again, that hulking, tricked-out vehicle has appeared at every crisis point, like a cursed talisman nobody can shake. Fisher's infamous flip on the 1-1, driving Gloria in a Cadillac registered to Barnes of all people, set a tone that's never really faded. When photos of the twisted wreck hit the gossip blogs, it looked like Fisher had barely escaped the curse of bad decisions, a man literally upside down in someone else's luxury. No one missed the symbolism. Fisher, behind the wheel of Barnes's car, driving recklessly into a crash that could have ended everything. But it didn't stop there.
I don't base my decision on whether or not I like you because of the color of your skin or who you go out with. I can only decide that between a relationship with you and knowing you. So for people that have judged or criticized me or questioned my character or my integrity based on something you read in the media that only one person is telling you happened, well, that's your problem for judging me. That's not mine.
Yeah. Gloria's own battle wagon, her Escalade, took center stage at the next flashpoint, rumbling through a school parking lot in LA like something out of a reality TV chase scene. I am ever thankful that no parent was hit by Gloria and her 17-foot-long Escalade, Barnes told a judge, painting a picture as over-the-top as any headline. Is it coincidence that every time this triangle erupts, there's a Cadillac Escalade somewhere in the frame? More than one pop culture columnist has joked that these vehicles should come with hazard lights and a warning label, may cause chaos in love triangles. It's as if the car itself absorbs the toxic energy of this feud, popping up whenever tempers, tires, or marriages are about to blow. And now the cursed Escalade legacy continues. Fisher's latest arrest and Barnes' hospital run both tied, according to insiders, to yet another dramatic rendezvous involving parking lots and fast exits. There's something almost superstitious about it now. Fans online have even started tracking the Escalade's appearances, speculating that it's less a coincidence and more a sign that this love triangle is forever haunted. We've seen it time and again. The moment that car shows up, something explosive is about to unfold. LA's high society might laugh it off, but some folks close to the trio think the curse is real.
You know what I mean? So I was just going through a lot mentally, and I was smoking a lot of You know, to kind of keep me on edge. Lucky if I wasn't smoking, who telling, you know, what could have ended up happening. Because I really feel like, although I had a few outbursts, that if I didn't have
But beneath all the wild speculation and luxury car lore, the reputations at stake are no joke. Fisher, once a respected face of the Lakers, is now tangled in a web of arrests, scandals, and locker room exile. After the DUI, the coaching flameout, and the theft of his championship rings, he looked like a man desperate for a comeback story. Now, with divorce rumors swirling and his name splashed across fresh police reports, the road back looks steeper than ever. Industry insiders are already whispering that Fisher's phone has stopped ringing. No more sideline analyst jobs, no more cushy speaking gigs. The NBA might forgive a little tabloid heat, but a public betrayal, followed by another round of headline humiliation, is a stain that rarely washes out. For Gloria, the stakes are even higher. If the rumors are true and she's heading back to Matt Barnes, what kind of fresh chaos is waiting on the horizon? Their first marriage was a fireworks show, restraining orders, heated custody battles, and headline-grabbing altercations that had family courts on speed dial. Is this the new beginning for two people who thrive on conflict? Or just another loop in a toxic cycle? 3 former friends from the Basketball Wives set are betting that Gloria's already laying the groundwork for her next act. A power move designed to flip the entire narrative, with Fisher as the biggest casualty yet.
It's to be taken seriously. I don't know why I was beating around the bush saying it's unfortunate. I mean, Derek Fisher seems like he's been in most of these cases.
Yeah.
Regardless, and look, when Matt Barnes comes out to look like the good guy in any position, no offense to Matt Barnes, and as J.R. Jackson has always defended Matt Barnes being very real, I respect that opinion of J.R. Jackson's. Maybe Derek Fisher needs to really get his ish together.
And then there's Barnes, caught between old wounds and new possibilities. He survived the means, the suspensions, the public scorn, and he still comes out swinging, literally and metaphorically. Some say he's addicted to the chaos, that even as he posts about family and fresh starts, he can't quite step away from the battlefield. A few veteran journalists in LA hint that Barnes, more than anyone, understands the cost of unfinished business. When the cameras fade and the courtrooms go quiet, he's the one left picking up the pieces. So what happens now? The rumors are swirling faster than ever. Will Fisher ever recover his reputation? Or is this the last, lowest point of a once glorious career? Is Gloria really orchestrating a reunion with Barnes? Or is she playing everyone for her own final payday? Are the Escalades really cursed? Or is it just a rolling reminder that when it comes to this love triangle, fate has a wicked sense of humor?
Fisher has really not seemed to have a great hold on, I guess, all of his life in the last year and a half. There's been a lot of drama surrounding him. For one
thing's for sure, we're nowhere near the final chapter. In a city built on second chances and new headlines, this saga is far from over. The next round of secrets and scandals is already loading, and every LA insider is watching for the next shoe to drop. Will Fisher take his revenge? Will Barnes and Gloria finally make peace or blow up again in front of the whole world? You tell us, whose side are you on and what do you think is coming next? Drop your wildest predictions below. In this love triangle, the drama never fades, it only gets darker. Thanks for watching, and remember, in LA, nothing stays secret for long. Stay tuned and stay scandalous.